And Hamas has accused Israel of blocking a ceasefire, saying Netanyahu's government has inserted new conditions into the proposal at the latest talks. Is that your assessment as well? And this comes after Netanyahu's visit to D.C., where U.S. officials emphasized the importance of a ceasefire. So are you concerned about the timing?
So I'm not going to get into the specifics of the negotiating process, and certainly not going to negotiate from up here. There are a number of complicated details that need to be worked out, and I'm not going to outline those publicly. But again, we think a deal is both achievable and we think it's urgent. And as we have said previously and consistently, there has been a deal that was on the table, and Hamas needs to accept that deal. And we expect these conversations to keep on going.
Has Israel inserted new conditions?
Again, I'm just not going to speak to the negotiation process from here. Jenny.
Sure, it's just for consistency because
Sure.
you and Matt and other U.S. officials have not hesitated to say when the ball is in Hamas's court. So I'm just wondering whose court the ball is in now. I mean, U.S. officials last week went to great lengths to stress how much they were dialing up the pressure on Prime Minister Netanyahu. The deal is closable, it needs to be closed, subject to some implementation issues. So who is causing the hang-up now?
I'm not going to get into, again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the negotiations, but let's look at this from a little bit of a wider lens and take a step back here. Consistently, since when I believe it was about a month and a half ago when President Biden went into the Roosevelt Room and laid out the contours of this proposal that had been on the table, this proposal that Israel had agreed to, that Arab partners had agreed to, that the United Nations had supported, that the UN Security Council had supported. Time and time again, it continued to be Hamas that changed pieces of the deal and changed pieces of the proposal. So this is a process that is ongoing, and we're going to continue to work through this process, and I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Okay, I mean, you just said Hamas changed the conditions without saying who is changing the conditions now, but I understand we may not get an answer on this. One more.